everyone, it's me, Yosnomi, and I've got Fang with me, who is definitely totally 100% not late. Hi, Fang.
Hello.
You're leaning around so much, are you okay?
Yeah, nope, I'm fine now. Time stop for a minute there. Hello, everyone. And Arts, thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries. You're not the first one to oversleep in tea time, because me being European, somehow this time is really bad for everyone.
Not for everyone, just anyone in North America. It is 9 in the morning for me.
I realized recently I know like 3 VTubers from Europe. Everybody else I know is just flat out from the US or the Americas. Or
it doesn't surprise me, but also it is disappointing.
Where are you from again?
East Coast.
The East Coast, yeah. So for you it's even earlier, isn't it? No, wait.
No, be earlier on the West Coast.
East is on the right.
Yeah.
So for you it's late, it isn't early yet.
It's not as early as it would be for Sono on the West Coast. It'd be like 6 or 7 o'clock for them.
Is that an Arctic snack? I don't know.
Okay, Arctic.
Thank you for the
I'm a...
And thank
Is
you
that
for...
an Arctic snack?
Thank you for the sub.
Oh, welcome.
So yeah, why are you floof?
That's just the way the Abyss spat me out. Or, well... originally didn't have floof, and then... gained floof around the time I gained sapience.
So you got fluffed
As long as I can remember, I've been floofy. I know I have been unfloofy before.
So did you get fluffed by mortals, or were you fluffed before mortals?
And mortals existed before I've been floofy, but it's still been a couple centuries.
Maybe this is another one of those prey tactics. You know how lamia boobs aren't actually real because lamias are not mammals. The boobs are just there to attract prey. Because men are very easily manipulated by tits. The snooba are not real, guys, I'm sorry.
It might be.
Maybe the floof is just there to attract people who like petting fluffy creatures, so you can have easier access to food.
Or they just enjoy the scritches too much, so I just don't eat them.
By the way, they're real to you? Sure, Fia. Fia never answered me. I messaged Fia in Discord to tell her she's cute and she never answered me. Can you imagine that? How rude.
You can call cute. That's Tsunami.
I can call everyone.
You thank her for that.
I am literally the authority on cuteness.
That's why I'm here.
Are there male lamia? Yes. Yes, there are. But they rely on female lamia to feed them because they don't have tits. Okay, cursed lore. Cursed lore. It's getting warm over here, I swear. True kings? Oh no.
It's kind of me.
Oh no.
True kings. Oh.
Carp is being cursed. How did I get hair everywhere? It's getting really warm over here. We went in like a week from 7 degrees to like 22 today. It's honestly quite baffling.
I know 22 is warm. It's not warm where I am.
22 is a nice warm late spring day normally, early summer. But now it's early spring and it's like, hey, how about you get 22 degrees, bitch?
We had sub 30 Fahrenheit just this past week, so we've had it close to 0 degrees.
Let's see, 22 degrees C in Fahrenheit is 71 degree Fahrenheit today.
That's pleasant t-shirt weather.
Yeah, pleasant t-shirt weather. Although in the sun it does get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Warm. Especially when you're thick with
have a nice
feces
breeze
like
going.
me. You moved a shit ton of pies today, you were not dressed for it. Why? Did you fall for the 7 degrees in the morning and went out of the house in a pullover? Because I've done that more than once. I remember when I worked as a nurse, one day I went out of the house in the morning at like 3 degrees, so like almost freezing temperature. And I wore a pullover and basically no shirt underneath, because as a nurse I would change at the station anyways, right? I would change into work clothes. And then when I left work it was 25 degrees and I was sweating in my pullover. Have you ever worked in like the social sector? Oh no, I think he's dying.
I worked retail for a few months, and since then I've been working as a fire protection engineer. So helping to stop things from burning down.
What was that word? Fiber texture engineer? Did I get that right?
Fire protection engineer.
Oh,
yep.
fire protection.
I help design. I design sprinkler systems for buildings, so that like the automatic sprinkler systems, they're not actually supposed to put out a fire. The vast majority of time that one is activated, it does.
Fire magic expert.
Yep.
You're a fire magic expert.
Expert in. What better way to know how to stop a fire than getting a lot of them? Sizzle's an assistant in that.
So sprinklers are not supposed to put out fires? Just to contain them, huh?
Yep, they're only required to hold back the fire to make it safer and easier for the fire department to properly put it out. But the vast majority of the time, it will manage to put out the fire.
I was under the impression that most sprinkler systems nowadays are foam-based anyways.
No, it depends on where it is and what it's protecting. There are some things that you have to use chemical foam for. Like, if you're set up sprinkler, they do have automatic sprinkler systems in military aircraft hangars. Those you don't do fire, or you don't use water for because, hey, that's jet fuel. It doesn't care if you have water on it. It will fill the entire hangar with an expanding foam.
Yeah, that's the one I know. I know, for example, that we had a water sprinkling system in the store I worked at. Because we were a beverage store, everything was in glass bottles. Didn't care if it got wet. But when I worked as a nurse, all the sprinklers were foam sprinklers because it was in a hospital. Bubble bath for the fighter jets.
I'll have to get a bath after that.
Do you ever have this moment where you look at chat and you just read the most cursed shit you've seen in a week and you just have to act normal?
Oh, all the time. I have a literal goblin in my chat often. That goblin is cursed. Helvetica testify for that one.
Yes, hello, that's us. Oh no. Chat is horrid.
Yeah. Here's to being cursed.
Yeah. Oh. Oh boy. I'm being mesmerized right now because I got sent a video of a snake shedding. And it's so satisfying.
The shed is always satisfying. You know, I don't shed the way normal snakes do.
You
I
just
just
shed
shed the
your
floof.
fur.
Yep. Over like a couple months, it just gets very, very thick and dense, and then I just sort of wiggle around like a hagfish and just slough off a pile of floof.
Oh god, the
Like tie
snake
yourself in
has
a knot.
skin. Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
Carp.
weird scale-like skin.
Carp
It's
turns
more
out
scale
most
than
snakes have
skin under the floof. The skin and the scales.
I always laugh when people are like, what do you mean snakes aren't slimy? Snakes are not slimy at all. They're like warm and dry and very smooth, but people really think that snakes are slimy for some reason. It's weird.
Smooth and dry and good for booping.
Yeah. Unless they're a cobra. Please do not boop a cobra.
Yeah, don't boop a venomous snake. Unless
And
it's me.
if you do, please
I enjoy
film
the
it so I
boops.
can laugh.
Yeah. This noodle can be booped. If you also scratch the floof.
Boop that boom slang? No.
Oops.
You gotta be very careful with which snake you boop. Like,
Yeah. If you just got the idea, don't touch wild animals.
yeah, maybe don't touch wild animals.
Now, the serious public service announcement, by the way, don't touch wild animals. By all means, pet the cobra. That's a joke.
Pet the cobra.
Pet the cobra.
Ah, beautiful. I actually have no issues with wild animals. Boop the snakes you're personally familiar with, like Ares. Please don't boop me. I'm not scared of
boop you.
wild animals. What I'm really
You get some head pats.
How dare? The I forgot my train of thoughts. Yeah, I'm actually not scared of wild animals. I'm scared of horses.
Horses are reasonable to be afraid of because they can just pop your torso out, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you misbehave around a torso, they can just punch a hole in your chest.
For me, it was when I was a kid. I had a horse, actually bite me full force, and they took a decent chunk out of my arm back then. It sounds way worse than it actually was, but like they really bit me bloody, and ever since then I've been very, very cautious and scary of horses.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I didn't even do anything to the horse; it just didn't like me.
Ah.
What's even funnier is because it was at like a petting zoo, so the horse was supposed to be nice to children, but like it liked all the children except me. Yo, fuck this bald monkey! Wow! Wow! Anchor is getting
Oh, hey, is
kidnapped
that
by
a
horses.
hand? Is that a hand? Fuck this hand in particular.
Yeah, fuck this hand in particular, I know, right?
And yes, I have noticed the label there. It's accurate, so I'm just
The
yeah.
original Sleepy Snake?
I do make for an excellent pillow though.
For an excellent pillow, you say? Huh.
So yes.
I mean... There is people that like it harder than... So they don't like soft pillows, right? So we need to have like a third lamia in here. Like a male lamia with like amazing pecs. and then just sell their abs as a sleeping place for people who like it harder.
They have the...
Wait a minute, no we
mouse
don't.
pad.
We don't. I have abs of myself. I always forget that.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget I'm shredded.
They got the Eris Booba mouse pad, the Eris abs pillow, and the mini-me as a pillow. There's the merch line. They're good.
Fang couch pillow. That
Actually,
horse is
just
probably not
gone
at the
touch someone
petting zoo
who
anymore. No, not anymore. It was like what? I was like
Yeah.
6 or so. But that was over 20 years ago. I'm pretty certain that horse died by now. I'd sleep on
I
your.
think once they bite, they can't be at a petting zoo.
What's Alamia's equivalent to the Thai area? Well, it's called the Infinity Lab. It's the Infinity Lab because it's a lab that never ends. Because the lab ends at the knees. No knees, no end to the lab.
And if you chew, that's the best kind of chew.
If you chew?
True.
What are we chewing? I'm confused.
Technically true. The best kind of true.
Oh, yeah.
Sleep on the Infinity Lab.
I think I have to turn you louder a bit.
I also have my phone a little bit far from me.
You're using your iPhone as a microphone?
Nope, microphone is a microphone. So it's just for the tracking.
I've had a friend once. He used his smartphone as like a microphone, but this was like long ago, long before smartphone microphones were like actually decent.
For the few imagines like. Let's do it. Gabby.
God,
the other
Harp.
bastard.
Harp is bringing the most cursed shit into this conversation. I swear to God. I must have cut myself.
I'm sure there are definitely some, but also the thing with the male lamia, they have to convince a female lamia to allow them a share of the prey.
Yeah.
So, if you see a male lamia that fits the ugly bastard look, you know they have some kind of talent. They can probably cook very well.
I mean, then again, I'm gonna be honest, when I look at humans, human women also date like the wackiest men. When you're like, girl, he's a serial abuser, he treats you like shit, and he's fucking ugly. Why are you with him?
Yeah. Like, what do you see in him? And the response is either, or, I can fix him.
Yeah, it's lots of I can fix him. But it's like, why do you want to fix him?
Like,
I like this like weird incel idea that women only go for like muscular chads, and then you look at reality and it's like, how the fuck did you get a girlfriend? Every time
few people have dated this floofy noodle. You have hope, chat.
Yeah, every time I see somebody be like, oh, I could never find a girlfriend, I'm so ugly, and I'm not a Chad, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I have seen 400-kilogram men find a girlfriend who looks like a model. There is yet hope for you.
You can land a Jessica Rabbit if you can make her laugh.
Yeah, humor is super important, and kindness.
Yep. Be nice. Be funny. Have some kind of just what are you good at? Work on that. Know your talent and be able to flaunt it.
Yeah, it's also like self-esteem.
Yeah. Know your worth, because believe it or not, you have worth.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And with
Because these insults
self-esteem,
are valuable.
I don't mean you need to be like all in somebody's face about how cool you are. It's just
No.
open your mouth and speak to people. Talking is so important.
Gotta talk, gotta let your thoughts be heard. It's best if your thoughts aren't crap, but
Self-esteem
just
is
be
in
nice.
short supply here. But
Just leaves in
Fia,
short supply here.
but Fia, you are so cute.
Yeah, you have access to the Infinal app.
Yeah.
I have a very nice jasmine tea here.
Oh boy. Carb stocks are low today too. Too many typos. Oh boy. I think I've hurt Carb a bit. Because Carb has spent the last few days just typoing at me at every given opportunity. Started to take the piss out of him because of it, and now he's just scared of typing.
Typos are perfectly acceptable. Because English is real fucky wucky.
Oh, it's not English.
English?
You
Oh,
would
just not
think,
typo any English.
You would think it was English, but Karp speaks German. That's his main language. He gave me a German document, and I struggled to understand what the document was about because there was so many grammatical errors. Like, I was legitimately struggling to understand it at points.
I feel that pain. The pain of reading something like that. I mean,
you know what the problem is? Carp is like me. Carp's brain is too fast for his fingers. Because he's not dumb. He just doesn't take the time to type the entire sentence out. Because his brain is like, go, 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 faster, quicker, must make.
Brain's going faster than thumbs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I occasionally have the problem, but I've gone to a point where I will read back through whatever I typed. Because I feel like I will know something's messed up. Whether or not something is.
See, Carp, I would discuss this with you, but the fact that instead of saying that grammar was fine, you just said they grammar was fine, proving my point. Like, I don't even have
can't
to
help you
debate.
much there, Carp.
I don't have to debate you. You're doing it yourself.
And Swift Noodle seems like a proper gentleman. I follow. Thank you very much, Fia.
Yeah, y'all
Also,
better
appreciated.
shoot a follow to my friend Fang here. Let me give you a shout out here.
Thank you very much.
How long have you been a VTuber now, by the way?
A little under a year. Started last July, and partly thanks to a very lucky raid from a quickly rising VTuber, I got affiliate in my first month.
Ah, good job.
Thank you. And I don't have any plans on reaching partner. I have 2/3 of the requirements for partner met, but that's just how much I streamed.
Yeah,
Average views
the
is
real
way.
requirement
Average views
is
is the real requirement
newest.
there.
And even if you reach the 75 viewers, they say if you're under 100 viewers, they're not giving you the partner anymore.
You
They
need to have 75 to apply, and to get confirmed, you need to at least have applied 2 or 3 times. Is basically what it is.
I think the main point that they want to see is that you can actually hold that viewership. And you need to reach it without raids, which is the fucking insane thing. They now want you to hold 100 viewers without raids.
If I heard correctly, anyone watching, if you are part of a raid, refresh the page and you now count as a new viewer and not someone from a raid.
They actually changed that.
Oh, they...
Twitch now has the technology to detect whether or not you're from a raid or not, even if you refresh. Because there is this new feature that they introduced like a few months ago, where in the chat settings you can highlight raiders
Yep, I was seeing that on my
Yeah.
my stream.
So even
Okay.
if you refresh, it still highlights you as a raider account for 5 minutes. So the technology is definitely there to understand whether or not you're a raider or a new viewer. So they might have changed that around a bit. Twitch, we're making
Luckily, I'm not
everything
trying for
worse.
partner.
I mean, I
They can
would
do
like to
that.
try for partner, but reality is with my viewer account, I don't even have to try for a push.
Yeah.
You gotta watch for more than 5 minutes? I mean, I would appreciate it if you did.
Going by for any amount of time is appreciated, but hopefully you like it. Just stick around.
Honestly, at the end of the day, whether or not you're a partner or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're creating content you can be proud of.
Yeah.
And hopefully being able to live off of that content.
Being partner helps
Two
with
snakes
being
walk
able to
into
make
a
a
bar.
living
The
off of
barman is
it,
very confused.
but it's not necessary and isn't the end-all be-all. There are benefits to it,
Hi, Corey.
but not needed.
Yeah, two snakes walk into a bar. The barman says, "How the fuck did you do that?" Snake two puns.
Two snakes walk into a bar. You thought one of them would have ducked.
We have to make a pun anyways for carp, so
Well, I just stole that one from you.
yeah. What do you use to cut a Roman emperor's hair? Scissors.
I'll give you that one.
My sister bet me that I couldn't build a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen her face when I drove past her.
Bonus points for that being a noodle joke.
At least it was a noodle joke, huh? I mean, not the worst pun I've done on this channel. Definitely not the worst. Definitely not the best. Why is this so loud? I think I heard carp a bit. So the East Coast.
I consider that frog a laughing.
Carp says he's fine. He's not fine. Trust me on that one.
When you say you're fine, that then adds a question of, are you really?
Yeah, it's like, I don't believe you. You're not fine.
Yeah. I have one person, anytime something happens or he's hurt or he seems to be having problems, first ask, you okay? Yep. Are you lying?
Yes.
I always follow it up with an, are you lying? And it's typically also a yes.
I always like to ask, how are you doing? And then I go, okay, and how are you really doing?
Yeah. Same as just, okay, we've got the normal response out of the way. Now actually think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you're really doing.
Oh dear.
Fine, sure.
I'm not tired, you're tired.
Correct, whose tail are you trying to lick? I'm assuming hers.
Yeah, it's mine. Correct, didn't you say you were gonna take 2 days off the internet? I'm glad to have you here, but please don't overexert yourself. You don't have to be here and pay attention to me, you know? Take care of yourself first.
Oh, you got a 5. Oh, got a 5.
Ugh.
I typically get up at 5 for work.
Normally you get up at 5?
Yeah. Instead of a 9 to 5, I have a 7 to 3. And plus side, you're not really stuck in quite as bad traffic, but also it's get up at 5, take about an hour to get ready, and then an hour drive to work.
An hour drive to work? You couldn't pay me enough to drive an hour every day to work one way.
Yeah.
Hell no. If it's over 20 minutes drive, I'm getting a different job.
If there was a company within 20 minutes that did what I do, I would absolutely take a pay cut for working there.
The thing
But
is, like,
it's not really.
it's such an American thing, though, to be like okay
Yeah.
with driving an hour to work. Cause like in Germany, it's like, oh yeah, I drove an hour. I'm in a new fucking state.
Yeah. Like, if I drive an hour north, yeah, I'm in another state. If I drive an hour south, hey, I'm in another state. Drive an hour west, maybe not.
For me in Bavaria, it's like where I live, I can like legitimately
Really not.
drive east for an hour, and I'm suddenly in. I forgot what the German states are called. God, Baden-Württemberg is where
That
it
is
would
true.
be.
There's tire change day. Carp. So, you must be feeling pretty tired.
I mean, just anytime I hear from Americans that they drive like an hour to work, it's just so weird to me because, like, so you drive for an hour to work and an hour back. That's like,
Yeah.
let's say you drive 100 kilometers. That's a ton of gas money you're spending. How are you even, like,
Yeah.
how are you, like, making a profit on going to work if you have to drive that far?
Gas prices are kind of down, thankfully, or lower than they. I've seen them higher than they are, significantly. But yeah,
If you drive
it is
east-
still
yeah,
a
Carp is right, I'm in west.
east. Up in check. West and up in. I try to pronounce this. Baden-Württemberg.
It's actually misspelled. That should be an M instead of an N. It's Baden-Württemberg.
Württemberg.
That is one of our beautiful, beautiful consonants that only exist in German. We have Ä, Ö, and Ü.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's Baden-Württemberg, not Württemberg. But that's a mistake almost every German makes.
Ah.
Yeah, fuck it.
At
I
least it's
agree.
a common mistake.
Everything is fine as long as you're not in Saxony.
I'm very much not there, so.
I mean, you're
That
in
would take a lot of
America, that's
swimming.
not much better.
Yeah.
The US is a very interesting place to be, let's put it that way.
Yeah, interesting is a word for it.
Hey, are you
We have-
also sick like me to constantly live through historical events?
Yeah. Like, yes, it's great to live in interesting times, but this isn't interesting. This is just upsetting.
Yeah.
The novelty is worn off by this point. We can end the pandemic and the
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, after the second financial crisis, it started to get a bit boring. I would love some peace and quiet for once.
If the government's gonna shut down, let it actually shut down so we can just reset things. Thank you.
At this point, do we even know what normal is?
Normal is subjective and currently tied up in a basement somewhere.
Are we gonna let them out anytime soon?
They're trying.
Who honk if they're so late at night? It's Carp.
Up, I knocked them. Seize the night and honk it too.
People try to end the pandemic by pretending we ended the pandemic, but it didn't seem to work. I mean,
Yeah,
technically the pandemic is over, because pandemic is a certain amount of infections, blah blah blah, so we're not in a pandemic state anymore. We are in an endemic state for COVID, which doesn't mean that COVID is over, but it means that they have just decided that the death toll now is acceptably low enough that they can continue capitalizing on our deaths. I just need people to understand that. COVID isn't over. COVID will never be over because we as humans decided that it's not about eradicating the sickness, it's just about pushing the death toll under a certain completely made up
arbitrary threshold.
Yeah, completely arbitrary threshold. That's all we did. And also, I just need everybody to remember, if we had shut down the economy for just 2 weeks, worldwide, COVID would have been over in 2 weeks. Just remember that.
Yep.
If we had literally all of us, just done a worldwide quarantine of 2 weeks, it would have been over. And, incidentally, we would probably also have eradicated the common cough.
I think he'd eradicate a fair number of diseases with that.
And influenza. We would also have eradicated influenza, so that would have been fun. Just imagine, that is the world we could live in. A world with no more influenza and no more common cough. We just decided not to do it because the economy.
Like money makes the world go round, you see.
So, Mr. Trump, why did you decide to let millions of Americans die? I like money. Oh, it would be so much more.
Son just stuck a cotton candy wig on Mr. Krabs and said, "Here you go, Mr. President."
Candy wig on Mr. Krabs. I need someone to draw that really badly now. You should be able to reconnect.
Yep.
Sorry, that one was on me.
Okay.
Let's see. Where were we?
Stuck a crab in a Cheetos bag and shook it around.
Alright. Okay, let's see. Oh no, you're not moving on my end.
Yeah, nope, it's not,
There we go. I think you have to... I think this is on you, though, this time.
Yep, I'm not sure why. I'm going to just fix that real quick.
You want him bigger? I can make him bigger.
I can grow. Okay,
Imagine if instead of him sitting on my head, I sit on his head.
Okay, not sure why the camera is being wonky. Yep, there we go.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Oh, I can take off my hat.
Let me actually adjust the size of it. Ah, what did I do? Here we go. And let me make you smaller. There we go.
This is about the right size.
We are so back!
And now we're back.
So where were we? If we don't give our immune system something to do, doesn't it stop functioning? That is not how any of that works. Your body doesn't just turn your immune system off if it isn't needed. It's not like a, don't need that right now, better throw it out the window situation. It's more like a, I'll keep this here just in case.
My immune system doesn't really like my body in general, so it always tries to do something.
That, sorry.
Just that my body doesn't quite, or my immune system doesn't particularly like my body. It has a few times tried, and in one organ successfully just removed a part.
I mean, I don't like my body either. But that's
but I liked having a pancreas. That worked.
I mean, having a functioning pancreas is overrated, is all I'm saying. You don't need one of those.
It do to eat sweets.
Yeah, I mean,
I have
what does the
plastic one stuck to me. What does pancreas do? It helps in breaking down sugar, more specifically letting sugar go from your blood into your cells.
It's an organ of the digestive system and the endocrine system.
Yeah.
It processes enzymes that help to digest food, basically. It's like, it's also where insulin is made, so I think you're type 1 diabetic?
That is correct.
Yeah. So basically the pancreas is anything to do with insulin and blood sugar levels management, plus a little bit of food digestion.
It produces some enzymes for food, but it's not the most important organ for breaking down food or producing substances to break down the food, but it is the sole organ responsible for actually making sure your blood sugar is fine.
Yeah. The amount of times I had to take blood for sugar tests is just insane. In hindsight. It's so ironic because I couldn't stab myself with a needle if I tried. At least not in the finger. Like, trying to prick myself in the finger would be so weird.
Yeah, it definitely... I've still not given myself a syringe injection for insulin, but I am able to prick my finger with no issue. There's a definite mental block there you have to get past of inflicting an injury onto yourself. Knowing that it's minor, knowing that it's for medical benefit, it still takes that mental block you need to get through. Once you do it, it's how you can keep on doing it. There's a distinct, hey, I'm not supposed to make myself bleed. I swear, brain, please be quiet. That's a block of what the fuck you doing? Exactly, Fia. But, hey, that's not right. No. Brain, trust me, it is. Let my thumb move. Brain, let my thumb push. Thank you.
I think the funniest part is that I actually had no issues like poking myself with needles in the past. Because like I used to be a heroin addict when I was a teen. I've been clean for like almost 1.5 decades now, so I'm good. But like, I used to be.
Congratulations on the recovery.
And almost 2 decades at this point. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. But nowadays, if you ask me to poke myself with a needle, I just no, I can't. I can't. I'm pussing out. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty sure being okay with doing it when you're using a drug is because the drug is overriding that mental block and the addiction's broken it down. And I think being in recovery is probably working against you doing it because your brain's going back to, oh hey, I did this when I was doing that. That sucked. Don't do this. They have an extra mental block of, oh hey, this reminds me of that addiction. That was a pile of bullshit.
Wait, what do you mean you have a funnier case of that when you crack eggs for cooking? Are you telling me that you're like,
what?
That you have to get over yourself when you try to crack eggs for cooking?
Mental block, good, starting from biting off my tongue. Yeah, carpe, that's also... Yeah, similar mental block, but also more... It's stronger, the one to not bite your tongue off. You want to be really careful when handling eggs. If you just grab an egg out of the carton and immediately squeeze it.
What do you mean an egg out of a carton?
That's what we call the containers of eggs here. Just like the cardboard thing that holds a dozen eggs. Call it carton of eggs.
That makes way more sense. I was like, please tell me you're not using those eggs that come in like a Tetra Pak.
No.
Because my store started selling them. And we never had stuff like that in Germany. But thanks to everything needing to be Americanized, they are now starting to sell stuff like pre-cracked eggs in big cartons and stuff like that. And I'm like, who needs that?
Yeah, you just no.
See, I would
Sense goes for you're gonna break when you.
I always said bagged milk might be a good thing because, you know, like saving on packaging and stuff. But we're using Tetra Paks for milk anyways, which are way more environmentally good and way easier recycled than the plastic bags that milk come in other countries. So, like, please don't.
Tetra Pak, like the cardboard.
Yeah, they're like cardboard boxes that are lined with like a fiber-based. I think it's Tetra Paks.
It's like a wax coating, so it doesn't leak through.
No, it's not wax. It's a fiber based on a certain sugar plant in combination with wood fiber, and that makes like a plastic-esque coating that is completely biodegradable.
Okay, and.
I mean, a big difference between a Tetra Pak and a can is that
Since you gave me a second, time is going to catch up with me in a moment.
Oh no. There is 3-hour nap-free session, yay or nay? I mean, if you feel like you need a nap, go for it. I'm not gonna be there at the beginning of the session anyways. Because after our collab here, I have to go and hang out with my sister. Because it's my sister's birthday today. And then I'm gonna be late for my... So this is gonna be great, because like I went to get groceries, then we immediately jumped into this collab, then I immediately will jump to see my sister, and then I will stay like an hour there, and then jump back home so I can play TTRPGs. Yay!
TTRPGs are always fun.
I'm gonna relax
I just need to start running my... I just need to start running a another D&D campaign. I was going to run Pathfinder, and between ADHD and just being a new system I haven't played before, I was supposed to start back in like January or February. The game has not started yet, because I've still not learned Pathfinder. I started to 5e, so I'm at least familiar with the system and am comfortable running it.
I'm playing Pathfinder 2e. I used to play a lot of 5e, but after playing D&D 5e for 5 years, I got really bored with how limited and one-dimensional the system is.
Yeah.
Pathfinder 2e is basically like 5e with way more character freedom and way more interesting things to do for marshals.
System I actually really like is White Wolf World of Darkness system.
I played it once. Isn't it based
like
on
Vampire the Masquerade?
Apocalypse Now?
I know Werewolf the Apocalypse is one of the systems they have.
Yeah, I did play a few Apocalypse Now systems. I really like them until it comes to combat. Combat in Apocalypse Now systems is... I get that it's supposed to be a more storytelling-based situation, but I personally do like the... I roll to attack, and I have AC, and I have a spell list and stuff like that. That's easier?
That's that.
Like, I do like role-playing, don't get me wrong. I just think if you have to role-play and make up every single bit along the way...
There are, it's definitely in Vampire the Masquerade, there are very specific things for... This is an attack, this is a combat thing. Also in Mage, the Ascension. Like, you have the freedom to make things up, but also there are things about it that are pretty standard. Hey, this is an attack you can do. Actually, for Mage Ascension, there's a companion book for it called How Do I Do That? Like, if you want to attack a vampire, you can, if you're a mage, you can make a flashlight show sunlight. And that'll deal a little aggravated damage.
I think the main point for me is that I really want I really want people to stop playing 5e. Does that make sense? Like, looking at how Wizards of the Coast are treating their employees, treating their players, treating their franchise in general, and Hasbro trying to sell the D&D franchise off to China, preferably to Tencent.
I don't think Hasbro actually was trying to sell to them. I think it was
they were trying to sell and Tencent pulled out.
Oh. Eesh. Yeah, Hasbro can absolutely suck on my fang.
Yeah,
This is the
Hasbro can
coast.
suck my tail tip.
Suck on my fang.
For me, it's just I'm rebranding soon TM, and I'm going to do more TTRPG focused content in the future. And I have a real dilemma in that regard, because on one hand, I would definitely have a broader audience and make more money reliably if I focused on 5e content. That is just a fact, like 5e is the moneymaker.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I really, really don't believe in that system anymore, and I can't go along with that. With the company, so I'm pretty much like going to do Pathfinder 2e content, knowing fully well that the niche is way smaller.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not renewing a D&D Beyond subscription. I canceled that back in the January. They tried pulling out of a perpetual contract because, oh hey, that's actually illegal, you little shits. Because I can play the system without providing any further money to Wizards of the Coast, I'm fine playing it. I'm still going to try to learn Pathfinder because I have the source books, but knowing how to play 5e, I can at least get the friends that want to play it to start playing a TTRPG, because a lot of them haven't before played any of them. And 5e is a good stepping stool into it because of how simplified it is. And yeah, we can homebrew stuff. We can use Roll20 or paper. We don't have to provide a single other cent to Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro to play 5e.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to get into D&D, but you don't want to spend money and give money to Hasbro because they're a bunch of fucking dickheads, 5e.tools.
Yeah, we can do that too. So one of my players is going to be playing a Tabaxi Paladin.
Oh no.
Just a giant bell.
You mean a giant bell?
They're just like a waiter bell. It's like a butler bell sort of thing. One of those, but it's a mall.
Oh, I thought I was like the character is a giant bell, so I was confused.
Tabaxi wielding a giant bell.
The Tabaxi I
And
don't
she
get. I
just
was about to
knows-
say, so they're just basically being Velstead from Dark Souls 2, but where's the cat coming in?
Just a skinny obsessed with bells, so hey, you can be a cat with a bell. I'm in.
My next character in the next campaign, we're starting a new campaign. I'm DMing one on Tuesday, we're starting in like a week. But we're starting a new campaign where I'm gonna be a player around May, and my character is gonna be this is Pathfinder. I'm gonna be a cleric of Pharasma, which is like the goddess of death. And she has sworn an oath of a vow of silence. So she's gonna use sign language, and to use vocal components for spells, she's gonna use a clerical chime, which she's gonna ring every time she casts a spell.
I like that.
I feel like I actually need to buy like a set of chimes just so I can actually jingle them towards the microphone every single time I cast a spell.
Absolutely should.
Just to annoy the ever-loving shit out of the other players. I think the big positive of 5e, aside from its beginner friendliness, is how easily you can homebrew in the system. Because it is that simplistic. Homebrewing in 5e is piss easy.
Yeah.
Because every block of the system is so easily changed, because they all don't interconnect. Well, in a system like Pathfinder, the races bring racial traits and general traits and stuff. The backgrounds bring certain background feeds. There is, I think orcs have like 47 different feeds, and you would have to homebrew all of that if you make a homebrew race.
Yep, in 5e, just you homebrew feat. Okay, there's new feat people can choose.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Race doesn't require... Race has racial bonuses, but I didn't touch the college or anything. That just tells you how to custom make a race.
Hi, fish. I mean...
Oh, fish.
Hi, Hi, Shiva.
Yeah.
It's my boy. The man, the myth, the legend.
The noodle.
The noodle.
Oh, there's an ad.
Yeah, you ran right into the 3-minute ads. I have noticed that having a 3-minute ad block is just way better for viewer numbers than having the 30-second pre-roll ads for everyone, and then they still play ads every hour.
Yeah. It's like... You have ads every hour, plus 30 minutes for any time anyone joins into the stream. Or just 3 minutes on the hour. And that's all the ads I has to deal with.
I will just tell you all the same that I tell every time we have this discussion on stream. There is an add-on for Opera and Chrome. It's a Twitch ad blocker. Just Google it. I don't mind you using it on my channel. Please go ahead, dozo. I'm not making any money from the ads anyway, so...
Yeah, the ad revenue, unless you're a massive streamer with partner numbers, is negligible.
Ignorable. So in my last... in the last 30 days... Oh, it's actually going up for me. I made 7 euros. The month before I made 4 euros from ads, so yeah.
Yeah.
That is for
that's the
2 hours of ad breaks. I didn't stream much last month. I didn't stream much this month. I feel really bad about it.
I just do 2 a week. It's not enough I get burned out or exhausted from it, but it's also frequent or consistent enough of just, hey, you know it's Wednesday, you know it's Sunday.
Yeah, I'm just very burned out recently. It's mostly my mental health just not holding up as well. But oh well. Oh well.
Take breaks when you need them.
Yeah. I think it's always important to take breaks. I've never been able to do that, you know? But yeah, we're starting a new Pathfinder campaign in like a week. And I have already told my players I'm starting them off with the beautiful sentence, and you all start in a tapestry.
Ooh.
Not a tavern. You all start off in a tapestry. They don't know yet what I mean by that, but they are scared.
That would be frightening. I'm thinking just like their characters at some point in the past been woven into a tapestry and they're now manifesting out of it.
It gets even worse. You can start a campaign off by saying, and you all meet in a terrace.
In a terrace. Yeah.
That would actually be a funny start to a campaign, to just have the entire group be in a monster and they have to fight their way out of a stomach.
Our Trask stomach is a bit too difficult for a start of a game, but you could definitely have them be all having been swallowed in one by a purple worm.
You wish you had more people to play D&D with. Well, if it's D&D you want, there's this wonderful website called Roll20. Roll20 is like the premier D&D online tabletop. And if you're there, you can click on Games, Join a Game, put in your criteria using the advanced search options, like which days you want to play, around which time you roughly want to play, plus minus 3 hours, which system you want to play, and you can just, like for example, if I say I want to play D&D 5e on Sundays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, roughly around 6 p.m. and click on Find Games, you can find an amazing amount of games that are just looking for players, paid and non-paid, welcoming new players. The important part is that you don't go for pickup games. You have to go for games where you have to write actual applications to the games, because those are generally higher quality.
Yeah, I'd see having experience with randos being a problem, but just about any D&D group you start off with is going to be randos for the first session.
Yeah, but... oh, jeez.
Good?
Please excuse me as I'm fucking dying. Sorry.
Worry not.
As I was saying...
Middle necromancy.
I'm not dead. Yet.
I was just about to say yet.
As I was saying, if you look for higher quality games, you will find higher quality games. Meaning, if you look for a campaign that needs you to write an application, has certain questions for you, wants to talk to you before the first session, like actually talk to you, then you will also find higher quality people to play with. Because it's obvious, the more effort you put into finding a group, the more you get out of it. But generally, I have had very good experiences with Roll20. I found some lifelong friends on that website. And I have had people I have played for like 10 years with on this website now.
I need to actually try that myself, because I've been wanting to play D&D for a while. I have a problem of making characters. I've made 3 characters for Changing the Dreaming, which is a system I've not even played yet. I have so many D&D characters, like one wizard who literally physically pulls on the weave to do her magic. So like when she casts Dimension Door, you really just see her reach forward, pull open strands of weave with her hands, and step through it.
That sounds
Firebolt, she
complicated.
sort of just like pulls back in the air, and you see strands of weave bend like the strings of a bow, and releases it, and just a bolt of fire comes flying out like an arrow. Everything she does
like Eldritch Odd.
has the thematic components.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
And depending on how the person is running the game, I told one of my friends that, and their response was, "Oh, Mistra's not gonna like that. She is the weave. Like, just this random woman appears in the world and just starts touching her."
Not quite true. Mistra isn't the weave. Mistra is the one who...
Depending on the
Yes, she
continuity.
is technically one with the weave, but that doesn't mean she is the weave. She's not like... It's not like she feels you touching the weave. She's aware of it.
She's
But you're not
constantly aware of the weave, but it's not like, oh, hey, that's my shoulder.
Yeah, you're not like grabbing her nipple to fire a flaming arrow. That's not how that works.
Unless you're Gale.
Goddamn Baldur's Gate 3 fans. No, I'm very much looking into Pathfinder at the moment. I am having the absolute luck that we have a server with people that do like Pathfinder and that want to play Pathfinder and that are into playing Pathfinder, and I'm getting people into it and teaching more people the system, and it's, in my opinion, the superior system to 5e.
From what I've looked at the system, it's definitely no worse than 5e. I'm sure playing it, I would grow to like it more than 5e.
I think
It's just a
main
matter of
difference is-
learning the new system.
That's the big thing. Pathfinder 2e and D&D 5e are extremely similar.
Yeah, no, look at
It's just-
I can tell these are very similar systems. I'm sure it seems more daunting to me than it actually
The
would
huge
be.
difference is the tag system, because every action and everything has like tags, right? But those tags are easily self-explanatory. Like, once you know what the manipulate tag is, you know how to deal with a manipulate ability. Once you know what the, let's say, fire tag stands for, you can find all abilities with fire, and it's very easy to go along with it, because it's no questioning like in 5e, where it's like, does this affect this ability? Does this work with this? I don't know, because it's not explicitly stated. In PF2e, you can just look at the tags and then you know.
Yeah.
Because you're like, is this a hex? Or is this a debuff? If you don't know, just look at the fucking tags. And the other big difference is that in Pathfinder 2e, instead of 5e, you know how in 5e everybody has a move action, an attack action, and a bonus action per turn?
Yeah, I remember correctly, in Pathfinder 2e, you have three actions, and that can be move, or attack, or a spell.
Or a shove, or you have class actions that give you different things. Like, for example, for 2 actions, you can attack twice without incurring a multi-attack penalty. So you can multi-attack from level 1 in Pathfinder. It's just that every time you attack, your second attack gets a -5, your third attack gets a -10. And you gain options in Pathfinder that let you run up to a ledge and mantle up the ledge in 1 action instead of 2. Or you gain special class actions that let you attack twice without incurring multi-attack penalty. Or you gain attack actions that allow you to move and attack in the same action, making certain classes way more suited for melee combat than others without completely making it impossible. Looking at you, 5e, with paladins can only smite on melee attacks made with weapons.
Yeah, if someone wanted to play paladin that was fighting unarmed with smite with their fist, I'd say go for it.
I even
Your
let my
fist
players.
is your weapon.
I always let my players also play like ranged paladins, because I have no fucking
Oh yeah, that honestly makes perfect sense. You can absolutely, you can imbue that arrow with your divine magic.
But basically, once you understood the free action system in Pathfinder 2e, you can play Pathfinder 2e. That's literally it. The rest is self-explanatory. It's like, ooh, you get a circumstance bonus of +1 to your thing. It's like, yeah, you can have only 1 circumstance bonus. Woohoo. That isn't hard to understand.
Yeah. I'm gonna jot down it with. I'm gonna try to remember to check Roll20 and actually see if I can find I'm gonna look for 5e game first, just so I can get back into the TTRPGs. Because I've not played it in actually been a few years now. Screw you, COVID.
What if the evil is far away? The sword's not gonna be enough? Exactly. It's also like, oh god. Yeah. You know how everybody in 5e is always crying, meh, 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 meh. I cannot deal with classes or races that can fly at level 1. Pathfinder solved the problem by making flying a temporary thing available at level 9 and a permanent thing available at level 16 or something like that.
Yeah. Way to do it. Also,
so the discussion doesn't even happen.
Yeah. With 5e, I'm running 5e, I just keep in mind that I would let the player, if you want to play a flying race, like you want to play a fairy, sure, by all means go ahead. Don't want to limit what you're playing, but do keep in mind, if you fly further from the party, you might get attacked by things that don't care about the party. Because, oh hey, you're in the air, you're the yummy thing.
Yeah, I always laugh when people are like, no, you can't deal with... it's like, if you have a flying character at level 1, they're way too strong, they're overpowered. A level 1 Aerocopter can kill a Tarrasque at level 1 because the Tarrasque can reach. And I'm like, have you ever read the rules for improvised weapon? You can just pick shit up and throw it at the Aerocopter. You can just...
Yeah. The
like,
Tarrasque is going to
yeah.
swish its tail across the ground and send a lot of pebbles up at you.
Or even better,
make a dex save.
just have
This is bad
Tarrasque
one.
use its giant mouth to rip out a bunch of tree trunks and yeet them at the Aerocopter. That's an improvised weapon and you can decide the damage die because we're talking about tree trunks here.
Yeah. Oh hey, take a lot of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm. Like that one
And...
Aerocopter is really gonna enjoy those 4d12 bludgeoning damage.
It's like, okay, so this is damage for a great club. Let's double that because, hey, it's a frickin' redwood.
Yeah, it's like people who complain about level 1 flying characters just suck at building encounters. That's the entire truth.
Yeah, just like, look at what your players are capable of and build around that.
Some DMs don't remember that they have access to actions outside of the monster stats. Yeah, also, a
Yeah,
Tarrasque
exactly.
can jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only land animal that cannot jump is a elephant.
That's
Remember
not true.
correctly. I remember.
According to 5e raw rules, elephants can jump as well.
Drew the owlbear from the top rope. Let's get an elephant from the top rope.
Oh no! Here comes
Just
the
pull
owlbear
itself
from
up
the
with the
top rope.
trunk. Rolls. Okay, now I'm just thinking a druid turning into an elephant. Just like high level druid, because you can wild shape. I think at high levels druids can wild shape from one wild shape directly into another. Be a sparrow, fly up, and oh hey, now it's an elephant.
That reminds me of the one time we had a druid who he was a moon druid, and we were at a level, I think level 16 party. So a moon druid at level 16 can wild shape into a sperm whale.
Oh my god.
So what the druid did was, druid looked at the enemy, transformed into a little bird, spent 2 turns flying up, and then wild shaped into a sperm whale. And just smashed down.
Oh.
He fucking almost killed himself from the fall damage, but damn, was it cool.
And that's how you get a point of inspiration. There you go. Oh, someone's got a
God.
healing potion, and that guy is now... Well, you had a problem. Now you have paste. Let's hope you didn't mean to do non-lethal damage there, because I'm not letting that be non-lethal.
Yeah, that's not non-lethal. Also, other funny things you can transform into at level at CR8. A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
A huge giant crab. I mean, it's not as big as a sperm whale because the sperm whale is gargantuan, which means it's like almost 100 meter long.
Yeah. Sperm whale is big. Eat big.
The non-lethal hydraulic crusher.
I love huge giant crabs. The non-lethal hydraulic crusher.
You know what really...
That's if you can land on his foot.
Oh no! You take 300 fall damage to your feet.
Like, alright, so your leg is crushed. You are currently stuck under a sperm whale. You're not getting out of this until the party lets you out.
But you know what I really like about Pathfinder? In 5e, the official stance of Wizards of the Coast is, oh, if you're disabled, you can't be an adventurer. So the community is like, hey, here is homebrew for a magical chair that can be a wheelchair. Here is homebrew for like prosthesis and stuff like that. 5e gives you like, I think there's one official disability thing, and that is having a prosthetic arm. That came with God, what's the world where they released the Artificer in?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
there's like a steampunk prosthetic arm.
Prosthetic limb
added
came
in once
with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Okay, Tasha's, that's...
It was with Tasha's official, but it was also found in Eberron.
Eberron, maybe? Yeah,
Eberron. So, you don't want a Cajun to know martial arts? Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to do a huge giant crab.
For me, it was...
Oh, my God.
It was so funny to have PF2E and just realizing the PF2E core rules have wheelchairs, and wheelchairs, just according to the core book, they made it really easy to use a wheelchair because all it says is it's a wheelchair that allows you to move around. Even difficult terrain isn't more difficult to you. Also, it has a mechanic that allows you to go upstairs. Problem solved. Just let them be in a wheelchair. Yeah. There's prostheses in like fucking the core rulebook. There is literal rules that allow you to learn sign language in the core rulebook. There is rules for blind characters. There is rules for mute characters that they can substitute other things for vocal elements of spells. It's just there. They were just like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Because it's
damn
fantasy.
Good job, Iso. Wizards learn.
Because
actually,
it's fantasy,
wizards
and
don't learn,
who's...
just fizzle.
I always get so salty when people are jerking off about realism. It's just not realistic for a disabled person to be an adventurer. And it's just like,
you're walking next to a goblin, a cat, and you're planning on throwing a fireball next turn. What realism do you have?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so you're cool with
what realism are you smoking?
And Roman legionnaires and pirates all existing in the same world, but a person in a wheelchair being able to be an adventurer is too out there. Got it.
You have a drunk illithid, a cat with a giant bell, a pink cat with a giant bell, a half-orc druid, and and a small goblin carrying around just a hammer welded to an anvil. And you plan on throwing 2 fireballs your next turn. What realism are you...
Yeah, what realism are you asking about?
What you have left?
Here's another fun fact. Did you know that the entirety of the Pathfinder 2e system, all books, all rules, are all free to play?
Yep.
You can buy the books from Paizo if you want to support them, but you can also just go to 2eaeonprod.com, which is Archives of Netherist. I posted the link in the chat. And you can just have all the rules of Pathfinder 2e in one place.
Sure, you just made a good point. Talking about realism, pirates had starting to sail people. A lot of peg legs, peg legs, hooks,
that's actually not true.
As much.
The idea that pirates would have a peg leg and still be pirates is a modern invention. That was not a thing. Because if you ever...
You would still be a pirate until you got to port.
Yeah, the moment you're to port, you're out. Like, walking with a peg leg is hard enough. Just ask anyone who has a prosthesis. Walking with a prosthesis alone is hard enough. Walking with a peg leg without a working... what's the word? Without a working...
Articulation?
Yeah, without, like, having a knee to bend and shit like that is even harder. But doing it on a ship is basically impossible. A ship that is moving and swaying. You're not continuing to be a sailor with a missing leg. That's just not happening. That is a very modern invention. But they did have disabled pirates. Some of them were missing an eye. That is not something that was made up. Just like one eye infection was enough to make you lose your eye.
The idea of pirates is who are just really. The idea of pirates now is frequently enough just
but
like if
I
people
think,
will buy that for realism,
yeah,
why don't they buy adventuring with a disability?
I just find it always funny how many people are like, oh yeah, your adventurer can't be disabled, you can't be missing a leg and be an adventurer. That's like, oh, you're a pirate, well then it's okay.
I wouldn't say go outright to make one of those players' characters lose a limb, but if the damage gets dealt, then maybe instead of lethal damage at some point, oh hey, you just now need a prosthetic.
I personally
Keep
think
adventuring and learn.
I personally think it is more interesting to sometimes, not always, but sometimes forego the TPK and allow the characters to live with lasting consequences, like missing limbs, like disabilities, like trauma. Like, what if your character
I'd say
survives the encounter mostly unharmed, but in the future, anytime they see this particular weapon that took them down, they are just fucking scared shitless and get a minus to everything because the trauma comes up.
or actually get the frightened condition.
Yeah.
You can't approach something with that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it definitely depends on what they're fighting, because like if you're fighting gnolls, their entire existence is to hunt and consume and kill. They don't. Gnolls will not leave a party alive unless something else stops the gnolls. And then it's a very clear Deus Ex Machina of, oh hey, this thing's gonna come and chase them off.
Yeah, but also like now you're in debt to something that you might not want to be in debt to, like a rat rail situation, or hey,
I hadn't thought of that. That is so much better.
got chased off by a red dragon who thinks you make for really great toys. Now you better pay your debt to the red dragon who thinks you're a great toy.
Just Blue Dragon sound. That was hysterical. You're fighting for me now.
Or even just getting rescued by a random guard group.
You just have the flaming fists on patrol.
Yeah.
What's that over there?
Or even throwing them from one pan, from throwing them from the pan into the deep fry. You know, just like going, yeah, the gnolls get chased off by a bunch of very hungry grizzlies who start with eating the NPC that was with you. You're waking up, you're still at 1 HP, you're conscious, you can barely move. Good luck.
But bears, you can potentially, you could scare off a bear, you could convince a bear much easier than a gnoll. Let's hope your druid is not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in the first session I ever ran, I was I believe it was the Marvels of Interdimensional Spaces module. And now they're inside of a permanent magnificent mansion, which was not normally a thing that can be done, but was a gift from Mistra to a particular wizard. And there's a lot of animated objects in there. Mm-hmm. A room full of mimics.
Man,
there's also a lot of cats in just spread across the map. Canonically, I have one feline-themed succubus maid. So she was in there just enjoying the cat food.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just a pink cat, also in the room. If the party reached the point of being about to be at a TPK, she would have stepped in to save them because, yeah, my master's gonna like you guys. You guys are entertaining to him.
See, I have a god in my world. Their name is Renai. Renai is... They are a very special kind of god. They're the god of trickery and gestures.
Ooh.
And they are neutral aligned. They're one of the two neutral gods. The other one is Uona, which is the heavenly judge.
Alright.
She is true neutral leaning towards good. And then you have Renai, true chaotic neutral leaning towards evil. Renai
love
just
it.
wants to fuck around. Renai has helped all of my groups so much and all of them fucking hated them. They hated Renai so much that I have a player who to this day, if I just mention that one of the NPCs is wearing a mask, this player goes into a traumatic frenzy.
That
Because they
that
had
is
a
perfect.
character. They had a character who's a paladin who was constantly being fucked with by Renai. Every night they had a dream visit by this god. Renai did so many fun things to them. Nothing really dangerous, but fun things. You know, like stuff like, hey, here, have a cup of tea. I just wanted to hear how you're doing. Oh, by the way, the tea is made from my spit. Beautiful things like, hey, I have abducted your friend. You better win this next fight I'm throwing the rest of the group into, otherwise we're gonna have to sadly decapitate her. Good luck. Oh, you won the fight. Here, have a bunch of artifacts that I found for you. Like, they were never in any real danger, and I was just fucking with them to entertain themselves, right? But they are like, oh boy, do they hate this god.
That is a deity I would much rather not fight.
Oh, you can't fight Renai. The gods in my world are actual gods. You're not going to kill a god. Like, to kill a god, you would need the help of another god and just try to convince one of them.
For sure, any other god would just be like, no. If you fail kill Renai, I'm never going to have a decent night's sleep.
Yeah.
There will be a car horn outside my window every time I close my eyes. You're on your own with this.
Beautiful. Like I have done so many beautiful things with Renai. And in this new campaign, one of the characters put Renai into their backstory.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That player doesn't even know what they have unleashed upon the party. Because Renai is the god of the DM, wants to fuck with the party, you're screwed. +1 fear. Oh yeah, did I not tell you that Morgan put Renai into her backstory?
I think that's one of your plays in chat then. That's gonna be fun. Captain Anchor. I like that name. I didn't have a character going that far into just streaming the party, but my players in the game I did run, actually running the game before I started streaming. So the Floofy Demon Lord coiled up here was one of the frequent not really questing NPCs, but a repeated NPC of just, hey, you guys are fun.
Yeah.
Here, do this thing for me. Like, they is a good party going along with what a demon lord was asking them to do, because nothing I asked for was actually morally objectionable to them. They're like, oh hey, there's this weird door with a skull on it. Take this adamantine lock and chuck it at that. So, canonically in my world, there's a magical adamantine lock and tons of chains blocking off the Tomb of Horrors. That module cannot be run, because screw that module. At one point they had just asked them to go pick an apple off a tree. They did that. Next thing out, they found a pouch full of gold. All of them fell asleep at the same time on a carriage on the ride to wherever it was. Waterdeep, I think. And there's just a crate of mead in there with a note. Hey, deliver this to this particular bar for me. Payment will be provided then. There's also the carriage driver and horses that they rented was also asleep. You just cast a high-level sleep spell on them all.
I have a player who's now scared of my caravan drivers.
Oh.
So,
What's the text strategy?
Honey and I have this running gag going that no matter which character she plays, there is one NPC I reuse over and over and over for any carriage driver. It's like a Sister Joy situation. You know how every Pokemon Center has its own Sister Joy and they're all different people?
All the Nurse Joys, all the Officer Jennies, yeah.
Yeah. So, in my world, all the carriage drivers are called Jim Bob, Bim Bob.
I'm Jim Bob Bim Bob.
And they are all
my cousin Jim Bob Bim Bob over in Watergate.
Extremely badly educated Southern hillbillies.
I'm Jim Bob Bim Bob. I know you're talking about my cousin Jim Bob Bim Bob Bim Bob.
Basically, yeah. And they have horses, and the two horses are called Billy Bob and Jim Bob. Just to make it even more confusing. And Honey's character, for some reason, it started out as a joke of, oh, these horses really like your character, and has devolved into the running gag of Honey's character, for some reason, is a sexual focus point for these two horses in particular. So anytime they take a card in any of my games, Honey's character gets hit on by a bunch of horses. Ow!
Were they playing a centaur?
No.
Have they played a centaur?
No. Honey has never played a centaur. I should make her play one at some point.
Like, if you play centaur, either A, that would be the one time that they are sexual focused for the horses, or that's the time...
It's even worse.
Yeah, just either it's gonna be a lot worse, or I'm just going to flip it completely and they have no interest in you. Only one way to find out. Play the centaur.
Here's the thing. I don't think there's a centaur horse or a centaur race in PF2E yet.
Alright, we found one thing that... Actually, no, I can't even say something that 5e did better. Just one thing that 5e has done so far. Because 2e hasn't done it yet, and they're gonna do it better whenever it's added in.
I think the one thing that 5e does indeed do better is the whole homebrew ability, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Like 5e is a lot easier to homebrew, but I cannot come up with a single thing where I'm like, yes, this is something that 5e is better in. Aside from its simplicity. 5e's simplicity is its biggest strength, but it's also its biggest downfall, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's, I guess, modular would be the way to put it. That it's all the components are fairly separate. You can change things without completely breaking a thing. You can add in just one or two little things, not need to add in a lot of it. You can make as few or as many changes as you want to 5e without breaking it, because it's a pile of Legos, basically. I use a pile of Legos. It's as simple as you want it to be. Simpler than you want it to be, typically. Just, if you play a martial class, you're capping out at level 10.
There is a playable spider race, that is true. However, not riders.
Spider or Drider?
Spider. They're called, what did I call it? Was it Golomas? No. God, Anadi. They're called Anadi, and they are basically spiders that can temporarily take a humanoid form. And they only reveal their true form to people who have earned their trust, and I think they are pretty big, right? The spider form, if I remember correctly, is like human-sized. Yeah, human-sized spiders with a variety of colorations. Okay, that's gonna be...
even though I plan on running a 5e game now, I'm gonna have at least one of those be an NPC.
Oh, and that is
Yeah,
great.
Syria, yeah.
Don't forget
Same
that
boat here,
every
Syria.
race in PF2E comes with a whole host of ancestry-specific feats. And those are baseline ancestry. Every ancestry can also has multiple heritages, and then there's versatile heritages. Like, a versatile heritage would be half-elf, half-orc, for example. And you can play an Anadi that is also half-elf.
Ooh.
You can play an Anadi that is a changeling. You can mix and combine in that regard. Anything that lands on the heritage can also be used to model stuff around. Like, for example, you can play a human that is a beastkin and has the ability to transform into a different animal. That is something you can do.
Nice. With 5e typically it's just relegated to.
Yeah, do you have
You can do that, but it's just gonna be reflavoring it. Like Pathfinder has the rules for it. They have the actual options written for it.
Tuesday,
but
6 p.m. I have one open slot in my campaign.
That's 6 p.m. for you.
That is like in 1 hour on Tuesdays. I have one open spot, Shiva, if you want to join.
That'd be 9 or... that's about noon for me on Tuesdays, but I am probably stuck at work then. I
think Shiva also doesn't have time.
Honestly, I probably could play a freaking TTRPG at work and no one would care.
Don't do that. You won't get in trouble with your boss so quickly.
I should be able to control my boss. My boss is a man-child.
Maybe don't say that live on stream.
Oh, I have a few times. He's not aware that I stream. I'm not sure he knows what Twitch is.
Is he that boomer?
He is a boomer.
Who is messaging?
The CFO of the company is even bigger boomer. As a CFO, I would, in fully keeping my job, I could get from my desk, walk downstairs, down the street to the executive building, into his office, and say, "Hey, Dick."
Don't do that to
him. His name's Richard. His name's Richard, so.
Oh my god. God damn it! God damn it, Fanny. Well,
just everyone calls him Dick. Oh.
Anyway, where was I? Yeah, generally, I think centaurs are pretty much the only thing you can't really do in Pathfinder right now. Which I think would be easily solved by them releasing a centaur race, which I'm pretty sure they will do if there's enough people asking for it.
Yeah. And I'd say, honestly, you can probably start off with the, say currently you can, honestly, I'd say reflavor any other, suitable enough race.
Yeah, that's the thing, there's not really a bipedal race or quadpedal race for Pathfinder T. That's really something they're missing.
You can swap out one of the things for like an extra 5-minute speed or something.
Knowing them, they would make a race of quadpedal people that is a bit more variable, right? Like for example, what they did was only octopedal so far. Yeah, that's the Anadi. For example, because of the whole OLC situation with Wizards of the Coast, right? Pathfinder took their tieflings and their Azimar, completely deleted them, renamed them into Nephilim, and gave them a myriad of heritages, where you can be any human, any elf, any base race can be a Nephilim. And in the Nephilim, you can choose between taking angelic heritage, or you can take a pit fiend, or Infernal. A demon, or an infernal. It's like there's like 8 different demons you can come from, it's really cool and like so basically angelic or Empyrean Nephilim can have an actual halo that constantly has the light spell going on around them.
Oh, I love that.
It's so cool. You can have like wings, you can have horns that give you like an actual horn attack, and it's you can have claws, and that's just stuff you can choose for your character. And you gain those ancestry feats relatively often, so you can develop your character in a really easy and natural way.
I like that. I have one character who is D&D half demon, half fluffy demon, and half angel. And it's like, for the roleplaying person, I just decided she leans much more towards her mom and is an Aasimar. Right, for a path, if you could get both heritages, you'd work both heritages in on Pathfinder. That'd be interesting.
And you know what's even cooler? There's a canonical race of snake people in Pathfinder 2e. They're called the Nagaji, and they can be anything from lamias to humanoid bodies with snake heads to just strong physical forms that have snake features like fangs and stuff like that.
I'm trying to remember what the they have those in 5e. I'm trying to remember what they're called. I know they're very poorly implemented in 5e.
Yeah, UNTs.
That's a Yuan-ti.
And they are extremely poorly implemented, I know.
Like, oh hey, you get magical resistance at level 1. Flying you can work out much more easily, but magical resistance, that's just, oh hey, a lot of things that do damage in late game will do half. I don't even remember what else they had, because that was just the main thing.
I think my main thing is that I really, really want to play a Nagaji at some point. Just because they're so fun.
I'm going to try to do like a game of 5e off Roll20 Group Finder just to get back into the feel of playing a TTRPG and role-playing a character with a group. And then once I more get back into that, I can rewatch some videos on playing Pathfinder and find a game for that. So I don't want to join into Pathfinder still completely rusty. 5e, shake the rust off, fresh and ready, learn Pathfinder, and I might play got one character that's not a paladin, but a zealot barbarian for 5e. There's like the divine power imbued barbarian of a god of war. There's like he acts very much like a paladin. He, in all ways except for stat block, he is paladin. He's like, oh, barbarian has unarmored defense.
But he's a paladin?
His name's Sanctus Ira, which just means Blessed Rage or Sacred Rage. He is as far as like the clerical order of the God of War is concerned, he is a paladin. That's why he's a zealot barbarian, which is barbarians that get divine power. He basically has a divine smite. He rages, it's a not quite manifesting divine power, like it feels more like a divine aura when he rages. Very proper, courageous. If an enemy drops their weapon, he will kick it back over to them because he'd much rather not have to kill an unarmed opponent.
I mean, that's always cool, having like honorful but also like combat where like somebody's looking down on their opponent is always fun, because it's like, I can't tell if you're being nice to me or a total dick.
Yeah, just like if a kobold is like, he doesn't like things trying to sneak attack or come up behind you, but like he can understand, like, if he sees one enemy like trying to keep his attention, he'll respect that because you understand you're outmatched. You're doing what you can to win this fight. Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm going to ram my sword up your sneaky friend's backside, and then I'll fight you one-on-one.
It's always so fun to hear. I'm gonna kill your friend, but then I'm gonna fight you one-on-one.
Like, he will accept surrender, as long as it's not something that has transgressed past the point of redemption or being given a chance. Like, if he expects you're just temporarily surrendering to fight later, you're just trying to be sneaky about it, he'll smite you on a spot. If you're actually surrendering, like, he's much more likely to let a group of bandits go because you're having a tough time, you're struggling, you're here because life circumstances put you in a really shitty place.
Yeah.
Here's the nearest temple to my god. Go there. They can help you find profitable, reasonable work. Forfeit stolen goods. We'll return them later to where they need to go. You can hold on to your weapons. Use them only on things that attack you. Have a nice day. But if it's a gnoll or some monster or anything that is actively evil, it will be purged. He's built like a brick shithouse.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we need to call it a day because I have to get ready to go and see my sister. Otherwise she's gonna take my head clean off.
Oof.
Yeah, today is a stressful day for me. Now I'm gonna go see my sister and then rush back home to do the Pathfinder campaign. Because my character is probably gonna get killed this campaign. This session. Yeah, she might or might not have gone to the guards and be like, hey, by the way, I'm a wanted murderer. Also, I'm a vampire.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be summarily executed.
Yeah, the group is trying to rescue her and she doesn't even want to get rescued right now. It's funny.
Oof.
Oh well. Nothing to worry about here.
Hopefully someone just wants to make a deal with you of, you know what? Do this for us and your charges are clear.
Hey, I leave it open to the group. If they manage to convince her to stay alive, she will stay alive. It's a very low chance, but they can save her. However, should my character die, I'm probably gonna play an Agashi.
Absolutely play the Agashi.
It sounds like I want a new character situation. No, it sounds like a Anchor's character has with one action completely destroyed everything my character lived for.
Like, I don't really want to play another character, but my character doesn't want to be played anymore.
That is pretty much the situation. I love Elfriede, she's a great character, but this is a very toughie to justify her going on somehow, like...
Whistles poorly.
Whistled poorly? Yeah, Anka, everybody's staring at you, I don't know why are you whistling over there?
You have to get ready to go.
Let's shout you out once again, guys. If you are not following my friend Fang yet, go and follow them. This is adorable. Fang, what are you doing with your life? What is going on in your streams?
Sundays, I'm going through a Baldur's Gate 3 campaign. I recently got into Act 2. That's playing a... in Act 2. Playing a Drow Cleric of Illustre. And Wednesday is variety streams. I just play a whatever video game I decide to play on Wednesday. Last 2 weeks it's been Helldivers, but it might be Goose Goose Duck. Could be a different Baldur's Gate character. Whatever game I decide to play on Wednesday.
Yeah. Aside from that, guys, don't forget, if you enjoyed today's content, please leave a follow. We have Teatime every Saturday with a new guest. So if this interests you, leave a follow. Aside from that, if you enjoyed today's content, you want to join our community, you can join us in our Discord. I just posted into chat. We're a community of 6 streamers. We're called the Patisserie Primrose. All pings are opt-in, so you will not get ping spammed. Aside from that, as always, guys, please take care of yourself. Drink some water, you dehydrated raisins. And as always, be excellent to each other. I'm your Snommy. I have shit to do, so I'm gonna fuck off. And I will see you all in the next stream.
Goodbye, everyone. Pleasure to meet you all.